Hi, my name is Akiva Goldman. I'm the director and founder of Goldman & Associates. Our firm has a primary focus on family law issues here in Michigan. And today we're continuing our video series designed to educate and inform the public, so please subscribe to our channel. Today I want to talk about long absences. Long absences as they relate to being able to see your child. People will call up and they'll say, I want to see my kid again. Well, I want to see my kid again. That inquiry suggests you haven't seen your child for a long time. Question becomes, what are the challenges associated with being able to see your child after an extended absence? How can you do it? The normal situation is where even if the relationship falls apart, but there is a child, the parents are sort of taking turns, they're platooning, they're seeing the child on certain days with mom, certain days with dad, they're going back and forth, they're splitting vacations, they're splitting holidays, they're sharing birthdays, they're doing whatever they can do, and they're both in the life of their child. But we all know that that doesn't necessarily work for everybody. Not everybody has that kind of relationship. More than half of the people will call me up and say, I can't work with my ex. He or she is just miserable to me. They hate me. I call, they hang up. They ghost me. They don't tell me where they are. If I were to send my kid there, I'd never see my kid. You know, all these kinds of things. And so you have different households. Some people will call me up and say, look, the child's been with me for 5 years. My ex took off and I haven't seen him. All of a sudden I get an email or a text or something. I'm back. I want to see Johnny. And then the question is, should you allow that? And from the other guy's position, I want to see my kid. It's my kid. I had problems before. I want to devote and be committed to being a good father. How do I go about the business of seeing my kid again after a long absence? Well, I will tell you this. Number one, you got to understand your legal realities. You have to have appropriately modified expectations. This is not the flipping of a light switch. You're not going to go into court, pay a lawyer, he'll file a motion, then flip the switch, and all of a sudden you get to see your kid, every other week, every other day, whatever. It's not going to work that way. The court is going to look at what's in the best interest of your child. And the best interest of your child includes a lot of things. One of the things that it might not include is an emotional upheaval because you decided to waltz back into the picture. It doesn't mean that we're judgmental of your situation. And it doesn't mean that the court's not going to honor your request and give you time with your child. But it does mean that there may be a little bit of transitioning that has to take place in order to sort of seamlessly put you back in the life of your child. So how does that go? First, there should be a plan. You and the mom should sit down. And in a nice, cordial way, you should say, look, this is what's going on. It's very regrettable, but up till now. But now, I have a job, I have an apartment, I have a good life. I'm in a good place now. Now is a good opportunity for the child to experience me in a positive light, and I'd like to get that going. So how does that begin? Well, number one, it should begin by the other parent, the custodial parent, sitting down with the child and saying, look, you were younger, we had our normal household going on, it was just me and you, but you, of course, are aware, I'm sure you know, you have a father, and your father was gone, but now he's come back, and it would be nice to see him, just like it would be nice to see any relative that's gone, and we're going to arrange to do that. And maybe at first, maybe there's a phone call or a Zoom, or maybe there's a little get-together where you go out for drinks, or you get Slurpees, or you go out for ice cream, the three of you, that is to say you, the father, and the son. And so you start that. And then if it works out, you do that a couple times. Get back into the life of your child slowly. And then try to work it out where you get maybe a time to go to one of these jump around places like Chuck E. Cheese or something like that, or one of those places where the kids run around, the fathers are there, and take your kid to the zoo, some smaller thing, and you gradually increase it to the point where you're seeing your child regularly. Now, if the other side won't cooperate in that, if the other parent's not interested in that, they're mad at you for showing up, they're this, they're that, if they're making it more about them than about you, you have to file a motion with the court. And you have to tell the court, look, what I did before was regrettable. I didn't really spend and prioritize spending time with my child. But my child's only 4 years old. I got another 14 years to make it up to him, and I intend to do that, and I like your help. And you tell that to the judge, and you know what? He's going to put a schedule together that begins to try and work this out. Now, if you have any questions about your particular situation, reach out, and we'll be glad to help you out.